What's going on, everyone? What's going on, gamers? What's going on, PlayStation lovers, Xbox lovers, Nintendo lovers, gamer lovers in general, tech lovers? So, coming out of China today, apparently, this is a rumor or maybe a leak from a supply chain, people who, are involved with chips and stuff. We'll get to that website here in a second. Are apparently saying that the PlayStation 6 will use AMD UDNA, which is not going to be called RDNA 5 or 6, whatever. It's going to be UDNA next. GPU architecture and Zen 5, Zen 6 for CPU. And apparently now they're confirming that Sony is working on a handheld and it will also use the similar AMD hardware, which is going to be a little bit different. Obviously, it won't be on par with the console, but they're going to do that. And I think it's going to integrate, they're going to try to probably imitate the Nintendo system or the Steam Deck, where you're still playing their games, but just with the handheld. Obviously, you're not going to develop games separately from it. That just takes too much. Only Nintendo can pretty much do that and succeed. So, yeah, we have that, and then we here we're saying that Microsoft is deciding between Qualcomm and AMD for their upcoming handheld. There was also more information because I'm going to show you guys what Qualcomm is. That Qualcomm was also going to be selected supposedly for the next gen consoles and how more people are going to start to maybe use their technology. If you haven't heard of it, it's called ARM technology. Apple currently has been using that for their latest devices, and so has cars and stuff, but not like that. So we're going to get into this. One, going down here to this post, let's go ahead and see what it says. No more RDNA 5 code name. After RDNA 4, it's UDNA. M1 400 and RX 900 using the same UDNA architecture using GCN like ALU design. That's going to be a big jump. UDNA gaming GPU tentative plans 26, which means 2026 quarter two mass production. So that's in the summer of 2026. Sony's PS6 will be using UDNA. The CPU has not yet been determined whether it's Zen 4 or Zen 5. Sony's handhelds will also use AMD technology. Now, what does all this mean? Let's go to Qualcomm. So Qualcomm is as we see over here, they're over in San Diego, California, incorporated in Delaware. Their stock's pretty damn high. They have $164. Like I said, they do stuff for Apple and stuff. But let's go ahead and skip over and look a little bit more into them. Qualcomm chips, right? So as we see here, they have CPUs based on ARM architecture, as I was telling you about, as people were saying that this is supposed to be some next thing that uses less power. So graphics processing units, some digital signal processors, and may or may not include a cellular modem, right? So we see that. Who produces chips at Qualcomm? So we see that's over in Taiwan, semiconductor factories. Samsung also is involved. Does Apple use Qualcomm? For more than a decade, Apple has used modern chips designed by Qualcomm Incorporation. So a lot of people didn't know that. Let's skip over here a little bit more. Let's go into ARMS chips. An ARMS chip is a central processing unit that is known for its low power consumption, low cost, and small size. So when you do make stuff like this, as we see laptops, tablets, smartphones, TVs, all this type of stuff, digital cameras, the low power consumption, this allows them to be able to fit this into stuff like the consoles, which obviously have a little bit more space than a laptop does, right? So if they do that, they're trying to make it to where it can get closer to desktop performance, though it never fully will because they just have more watts and more space and just they don't use APU. But this is more efficient and it makes the consoles be more affordable. So Microsoft's deciding between either this and supposedly Sony was too, because watch this. This was like a while ago. PS6 reportedly to use AMD chips as Intel loses out deal, but this was something that was kind of like a while ago. Do you think PS6 will force Sony to move to an ARM architecture? People were talking about this even last year, but after what we saw, what Sony's doing with the PSSR and what Microsoft's doing with AMD too, I think that most likely AMD is going to be chosen here, and it's not going to be ARMS. Definitely with the easy backwards compatible like shift. So I could see that happening. But, getting this early intel here, I think this is pretty plausible. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I definitely do think that they're going to try their handhelds. Phil Spencer already said that they're going to do a handheld, so that's not a rumor. And will Sony join in the ballpark? Most likely, because people were saying they wanted them to. and then they test, waters with the PS Portable or whatever. So I was like, whatever, you know what I mean? But I think it's sold enough to where they're like, yeah, we are going to do that. But what I know they will not do is focus on developing games separately for the handheld. That would just be stupid. No, it's going to be an all-in-one sync. Definitely, we know it's going to work like that with the Xbox handheld, where you're going to be able to have Game Pass, and cloud streaming right on it, and it connects with the ecosystem. And you'll be able to do that with your PC as well too. And I think that's what Microsoft wants to do. And I think it's better for them to do that next gen than now, because if they start now, Nintendo's just going to stomp them into the ground, because you just can't compete with them when it comes to handheld. And they've made a hybrid aspect now. So yeah, I think they should probably test the waters again, see what happens. They're not going to do Nintendo numbers, obviously, but I think a lot of people probably would like that as a hybrid option. So I think who's going to have the most problem selling is definitely going to be the Microsoft handheld. Sony kind of had a base before, so I think that there would be kind of have a hybrid burst of sales with that. Um, and some people will probably be looking forward to that. So that's kind of what I wanted to share on this. Let me know what y'all think. I said like, comment, subscribe, more tech stuff. It's going to be added to this channel. I think it's important to get it out to let people know what's happening and get them to understand what, things actually mean as well too. We got to learn more about UDNA, what's going to be the new aspects with it, like the architecture using GCN, like ALU design, which, they'll give us more information. Um, so if you want to look at ALU designs, that's this arithmetic logic unit. It's an AI engine managing the following operation in all cases: the issues rate and one instruction per cycle. This is something AMD has up on their website if you guys want to kind of get into it. Like I said, I think this stuff is still kind of early, but basically we see they have enter multiplications 32-bit with output results of 32 bits stored in the R register. This is super nerdy stuff. You guys don't have to worry about that, but basically it's kind of making it to where you want to take things to the next level. We see we got floating point nonlinear functions. This is a lot to go into, and I don't think you guys are as interested in this as somebody that really wants to be into this. But basically think of it like this: AI evolution, trying to make things more efficient and making things more powerful. So that's kind of like what this is, but there's a lot more to explain, but that's, like I said, that's for another time. But if you guys want to look into it, it's right here, as you see. But yeah, there's a lot of math involved into this. So yeah, let me know what y'all think about these rumors, and y'all have a great day. Peace out.